Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Meet Me at the SPCA. My name is Jim Boudreau, Executive Director. Today we'll be hearing from Liz and Tanya, two of our fantastic volunteers down at the shelter, and they'll be featuring some of our pets that we have available for adoption. So enjoy, and then come on back and join us here in the studio. We'll be interviewing one of our staff members, Mary Hirshfeld, who works in our behavior team, to talk about some of the work we do with our dogs down at the shelter.
I'm Liz Bauman. I'm a volunteer with the cats at the SPCA. This is Josephine. She's 3 or 4 years old. She was found as a stray in Lansing. She's what we call a Manx cat. She's tailless. And Manx cats' back legs are longer than their front legs, so they run like little bunny rabbits. She's very playful with other cats, so she'd be a great addition to a home with other kitties. When she was found, the poor thing was had a cold, and now she's all healthy and happy, and she's loved to cuddle up with you at home. She's very affectionate and loves to be pet. You'll see one of her eyes looks cloudy. That's an old scar from an injury she must have had a while ago, and she's been checked thoroughly, and it doesn't affect her vision, and it doesn't bother her. Come here. Come here. Hi, baby. Josephine. She's a sweet little girl cat. She's purring. Can you hear the purring? She's purring. She's a beauty. There she is. Such a pretty girl. Josephine, you're such a good girl. You're such a pretty girl. This little beauty is Tigger. She's 5 years old. Her previous owner says she's sweet and lovable, and she is. She's just the sweetest little thing. She should probably go to a quiet home. We don't know much more about her except that she's just a sweet little thing and very, very beautiful. She's kind of in between a tabby and a tortie. She's got golden in between her stripes, and black and tan, and she's just a little cute girl. Tigger should go to a home with no other cats, and preferably without children. Now we're going to go visit with Knuckles. He's an FIV positive cat, so I'd like to explain a little bit about what FIV is and how it might affect an adoption decision. FIV is a virus, very similar to HIV in humans, but only cats can be infected with it, not humans and not other animals. An FIV positive cat with no sign of illness can live a long, normal life. But when they become ill, they are much less likely to recover from that illness. It's most commonly spread through fighting and mating behavior. In a calm, stable group of spayed, neutered cats, the risk of transmission is low, but it's not zero. So we advise that FIV positive cats be housed in a home either as an only cat or with another FIV positive cat. Their immune system is suppressed, so even when they appear healthy, you must take care to protect them from infectious diseases. Here are some tips how to care for an FIV positive cat. Keep them indoors at all time. Provide twice yearly veterinary visits with annual blood work. See a vet promptly at any sign of illness. Reduce stress on the kitty as much as possible, and provide a balanced and nutritious diet. Immune-suppressed people should not adopt immune-suppressed pets. They put each other at risk for infection. So let's go in and meet Knuckles. This is Knuckles. He's 7 years old. He was a stray, so we don't know too much about him. As you can see, he's an absolutely beautiful, medium-haired gray kitty, so he'd need a little bit of brushing. He's got a little bit of a quirky personality. He is very friendly and loving with the right cat-savvy person, but we recommend that he goes to a home without children. He's a beauty. He's a beauty. And again, he's FIV positive, so he should go to a home as an only cat, or a home that has only FIV positive cats, because there's still a chance of transmission between the kitties. This is Odie. He's 5 years old. He's also FIV positive. He was found as a stray. He's sweet and friendly as can be, and a little bit vocal. So if you want to take Odie home, he should be an only cat, or if you have another FIV positive cat, he could be a companion. He's a really sweet kitty, very friendly, very curious about his surroundings. Loves to be pet. And that's our Odie.
My name is Tanya, and I'm a volunteer at the SPCA of Tompkins County, and I'm here to introduce you to some of the adoptable dogs at the SPCA. This is Jean Luc, who is a beautiful pit, approximately 2 years old. He came in recently, and he was emaciated, just painful to look at. You could see every bone. But as you can see, he's fattened up. He's a little bit fearful, but I've actually just met him recently, and he's this comfortable with me already. If you just approach him gently and quietly, so soft. Look at that face. He is dog selective, so a family who has another dog would want to test him with Jean Luc to see if they get along. He does not like cats. We're recommending he be with a family, children over 12, simply because he's a little fearful. But he's a lap dog. He curled up on my lap a few moments ago and just started to fall asleep. And he loves being scratched on his tushy. And even though I've just met him recently, he's very loyal. He'll follow me when I walk around. It's like, don't go too far. You want to walk around a little, sweetheart? Where are we going? You want to follow me everywhere I go? What a love you are. Good boy. Such a good boy. He is energetic, so he likes to run around, he likes to go for walks, and he's good on a leash. He doesn't necessarily know how to play fetch. I don't know if he's ever gotten a chance to. Face the camera. Face the camera. But he is just beautiful. If you can catch his face, he has just an adorable face and just irresistible. This is Dexter, who looks like a big brown bear, but he is a chocolate lab retriever mix, approximately 6 years old. He's playful, big and goofy, loves his tushy rub, he loves being scratched. We recommend that he be with a family of children no younger than 12, simply because of his size and his playfulness. Still learning some manners with the leash, but he's a good boy. I actually just met him, and when I walked in the room, he came right up to me and wanted to nuzzle and wanted scratches. So he's very friendly, very people friendly, and a big cuddle bug. Good boy. Want some cheese? Some cheese? Oh, anything for cheese. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Come meet Dexter. This is Snoopy. Snoopy is an Australian cattle dog, and Snoopy is the whole package. He is friendly and gentle and sweet, but also loves playing. Loves playing around the play yard and playing catch. He is good with other dogs. He's good with cats. He's lived with young children. He's a mellow dude with just enough energy to have fun with. And he is just a joy. Show them your face. Snoopy. Can I get you to kiss me? 'Cause that's the first thing you did when I went to the room. Come here, Bubby. Come here, honey. Come here, honey. What are you doing? What are you doing? Good boy. Come here. Good boy.
Hi, I'm Lynne Conway, Volunteer and Philanthropic Programs Manager at the SPCA of Tompkins County. I hope you've been enjoying Tanya and Liz showing our adoptable animals. Tanya and Liz are examples of two devoted volunteers. We have more than 250 volunteers who are here 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide attention, affection, and care for our animals. We rely heavily on volunteers to provide a steady and effective operation of the shelter. Are you interested in becoming a volunteer at the shelter? We have 4 primary roles who work here 2 to 2.5 hours a week. They are canine companion, dog walker, feline friend, which is an example of Liz Bauman, and annex attendant, which functions primarily at our satellite location at the Shops at Ithaca Mall. We also have opportunities for you to foster animals. Are you interested in bringing a kitten, a puppy, or a special needs dog into your home for a very short period of time? Either way, if you'd like to become a regular volunteer or a foster volunteer, the next step would be to visit our website. At the top of our webpage, you will find a volunteer tab, and on that volunteer tab, you will see volunteer opportunities. That's where you'll find the application to either become a regular volunteer or a foster volunteer. You simply need to print it out and mail it in, or send it as an attachment, or drop it off at the shelter. Once we receive your application, we will send you an email to schedule you for an orientation. We offer them twice per month, usually on a Tuesday or Thursday evening, and always on one Saturday. They last for 1 hour. After orientation, we will pair you with an experienced volunteer trainer who will show you the ropes on how to become an excellent SPCA volunteer. Once your training is complete, you will start your regular weekly shift of 2 to 2.5 hours, and you will find plenty of time to work with and care for our animals. I thank you for considering volunteering at the SPCA of Tompkins County and hope to see you at a future orientation.
Welcome back, everybody. Joining me today in the studio is Mary Hirshfeld, who works in our Training and Behavior Department at the SPCA of Tompkins County. And we're going to chat with her a little bit about the process that we use to assess some of our dogs' behavior at the shelter. Mary, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the process of how we work with the animals at the shelter after they come in, whether they are found stray or owner surrender.
Okay, well, we give the animals a couple of days to settle in so that they get used to what is for them a very strange and stressful environment. And then each dog is behaviorally assessed, and we put them through, you could call it a temperament test or a personality test. It has a number of components to assess what kind of home the dog would be best suited for.
Great, okay. And what are some of the common behavioral things that we're testing for? What are some of the components of the test?
Okay, we're looking most importantly, I think, for sociability. Dogs that really enjoy people, that solicit attention from you, whether you're asking for the attention or not. Those dogs are usually very easy to train. The other thing we're looking for are dogs that handle easily. They handle things that they would normally experience at the vet office or the groomers, or if they have children in the home that might be pumping on the dog's shoulders or pulling their tail. We look for whether they guard food or toys or high-value food resources. And then we look at how they interact with novel people that they've never met before and how they interact with dogs.
Great. So if we find that we have a behavior that we think we can correct or that we're unsure about, what's the process for that then? What do we do with that animal? Do we then train those behaviors in a different way? I mean, I think the point is that we're obviously trying to make the animal as easy for the adopter as possible once it enters the home. So is there any system that we have for that, or?
Well, basically what happens is take the information that you get from the test and say, for example, you have a dog that one of the portions of the test is the dog is given a toy. And then you see how aroused the dog gets and whether it's jumping around and having a great time. And then when you take the toy away, how quickly does it settle back down? We often have dogs that can't settle back down. They just are still jumping. They might be grabbing clothing. They can't control their impulses. So for an example like that, we would take that dog and put them on a protocol that would help them build impulse control. And the training and behavior team, the three of us, would sit down and discuss the dog and come up with a plan for modifying that behavior.
Great. Now, we're very lucky at the Tompkins County SPCA that our dogs and cats do get adopted very quickly. Our lengths of stay are very much below the national average. So when an adopter comes in and we're not through that training process, how do we work with the adopter then moving forward?
Dogs that are on what we call a behavior modification plan, we put a sticker on their folder. And that means that when an adopter comes in to take that dog home, they have to speak with someone on the training and behavior team. And we counsel them about the behavior. We give them handouts that explain the protocols that they can then continue in their home to modify this behavior. And we're always available anytime people want to call and get further assistance on the phone.
Great. Okay. Well, as you know, my favorite part of the test is the stranger test because I get to play the stranger quite a bit at the shelter, which is always enjoyable. But I think now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little video. We're going to see a little bit of behind the scenes work that we do with the shelter and watch Mary put one of the dogs through one of those tests at the shelter and see what happens there. So thank you again, Mary, and look forward to seeing that.
Hi, I'm Mary Hirshfeld. I'm one of 3 members of the behavior and training team at the SPCA of Tompkins County. And today I'm just going to show you a portion of a behavior evaluation that we do for each of the dogs that come in. The evaluation gives us a general idea of how they behave in certain situations that they would normally encounter in a household. So the first thing that I'm going to show you, I'll show you 2 portions of the handling test. The first one involves what we call repetitive handling. I'm looking at the dog's teeth 5 times in a row, and it's something that might happen in a vet's office. And what it tells us is how able the dog is to tolerate frustration. In other words, I'm doing something unpleasant to it. How willing is a dog to tolerate that? The second portion will be me just looking at different portions of his body. Again, things that would happen. His ears are examined. His tail, I stroke down to his tail. His shoulders are pumped. Some of these things are things that people, like kids, would do at a certain age, so it gives us a better idea of how old the children need to be in the household with the dog. So I'll just narrate a little bit about what I'm seeing in this dog as I'm doing these portions of the test. Hey, John, come here, baby. Okay, can I look at your tooth? Can I look at your teeth? 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. Oh, so good. 1, 2, 3, 5. I know, just 2 more, buddy, 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can tell he's getting less and less tolerant of this, but he's putting up with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if he wasn't tolerant of it, what I would see is the dog would push me away. It would turn its head so that I can't get at its teeth, or it might snap at me. So he's pretty, willing to let me do things that he doesn't enjoy. Okay, so for handling, we would look at how does he respond if I go all the way down and yank on his tail the way a small child might. No problem. What does he do if I pick up his hind foot? He's anxious. You can see he's very anxious. He's leaning into me. He's uncomfortable, but he's letting me do that. Stroking his far side. Now you notice the whole time he's leaning on my knee. He's very insecure and anxious and uncomfortable, but he's not reacting in a negative way. So then 3 times pumping the shoulders. This is something that you might have a kid do when they're clambering up onto a dog. That doesn't bother him at all. Looking in his ears, like he might have at the vet's office. No problem whatsoever. Very good, young man. Then we would just lead them around by the collar, see how resistant they are to that. Some dogs will actually just not move at all. They'll stop still, or they'll turn and snap at your hand if they're not happy with their collar being grabbed. He doesn't seem to mind. Then the next thing would be stroking him with a towel, something that might happen to him at the groomers, or if I'm going to give him a bath. He's not afraid of the towel. That's fine. And then the last part of it is the part that most of us like the least, because it does put you in a potentially dangerous situation, and it sometimes, if the handling portion of this test has not gone well, I couldn't look at the teeth, the dog was air snapping or turning his head as I was handling it, I would not do this portion of it, which is the hug, because I would not feel safe. But I know that he's not going to do anything to me. Very good. So basically, what I would say about John is he's very compliant, but he's a little bit shut down, anxious, and very shy. He responded a little bit to what I was doing, but basically just kind of went, okay, just do that. That's okay, just do it. With time, I would expect that you're going to see more personality come out in this dog, and we might get a different response. So you have to remember that these tests are what we call just a snapshot in time. It's a picture of one moment of that dog's behavior. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be indicative of how the dog will behave in the home or how its behavior may change as it gets older or it gets more confident. So that's the behavior portion of the test.
Hi, I'm Sarah, the Adoptions Manager at the SPCA, and I'm going to share with you some Happy Tales adoption updates today. The first one is from Rocky, a handsome bull terrier who was adopted a few months ago, and this is from his owner. Dear Tompkins SPCA, thanks so much for everything you did for this wonderful dog. I swear, I fall more and more in love with him every day, and it's become really hard to imagine my life without him. He rules the house and seems to have claimed every piece of furniture in sight, including all of the beds, because as we all know, one bed just simply isn't enough. He loves bouncing around in the snow like a rabbit and going on his long walks. I also take him running with me several times a week, and he gallops along in front, leading the way and clearing the streets of those pesky squirrels. I've taken him to the barn to visit my horse, and he's become best friends with the miniature donkey, which is an adorable sight to see. He tries to play with the donkey as if she's a dog by pouncing around. The donkey just stares at him. He is just a perfect mix of high energy and downtime. Plus, I mean, who can resist those beautiful eyes? This next update is on Levi, the blind dog who was adopted out about 3 months ago as well. And this is from his new owners. And they write, it has been about 3 months since Levi, who is blind, adopted us as his seeing eye family. He keeps his adopted mom company when she is working in her home office and joins her on walks when she needs a break. When he first came to the SPCA, he was very stiff and didn't like to walk far, but now he loves long hikes. His record is 4.5 miles and has no problem with the stairs at Buttermilk Falls. He also enjoys canoeing and kayaking. Although he is 8 years old, he is still a puppy at heart. He plays tug-of-war with his leash and steals your shoes when you are trying to put them on. We would like to thank his foster parents and the staff and volunteers at the SPCA who took such good care of him before he joined our family. If you would like to share your Happy Tales adoption updates, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/SPCA of Tompkins County. Thanks.